Hello and welcome back to Planet Nibiru, where anything is possible. Hello friends, and welcome back to this very special edition of Planet Nibiru, where we will be paying our respects and looking at the life of Korney the Alchemist. We have followed the Alchemist and his creations for well over 2 years on this channel, and we have not only enjoyed his work, but we shared a relationship with him as well. I first spoke to Korney about 1.5 years ago when I was making a video on traditional alchemy, specifically the process of turning lead to gold. For those of you who aren't familiar with alchemy and its history, the science is best known for this one process of transmuting lead and other heavy metals into gold. Now before you go out and start buying up all the bullets in town, let me tell you, I was not able to find a working process that allows you to do this, and seemingly neither has anyone else. But then again, if someone did in fact find a working recipe for turning lead into gold, they probably wouldn't be sharing it. But back on subject. In my search for this information and alchemy in general, I found Korney, and after I watched some of his videos, I found his Homunculus series and I was blown away. This was not turning lead into gold, but it was perhaps something even bigger and better, creating life. I decided to contact him regarding alchemy and the Homunculus, asking him some technical questions at first and eventually striking up a casual friendship and partnership between our channels. Over the course of the next year or so, we partnered to create several videos where we both highlighted the events surrounding the growth of the original Homunculus and the eventual merger of both Slowpoke and Pikachu, the second and possibly even more advanced Homunculus. During that time, I had an opportunity to chat a bit with this man, and although he was kind of a private man, much like myself, he was open and eager to talking about alchemy and the Homunculus. The videos that we partnered on were some of the most successful ones on my channel. The questions that he answered from viewers on my channel were most assuredly on the minds of almost everyone who's ever seen the Homunculus. All in all, I enjoyed the conversations that I had with the man and the brief partnership that we shared on our videos and our channels. As quickly as our blossoming partnership had started, though, it seemed to end. One day, my emails just started to go unanswered, and the videos on his channel had stopped. It was as if he'd disappeared. Other people started emailing me and asking me, hey, what happened to Korney? And they were kind of disappointed when I had to tell them that I didn't know. I was talking with some friends of mine and people who watch his channel, and none of us knew for sure what had happened. Certain chat rooms and websites began posts with questions about what was going on, and without any solid information, those questions soon turned into rumor and conjecture. In the past 6 months or so, I've been attempting on and off to find out the truth of what has happened. Some other channels have also tried as well, but in my opinion, they're doing a rather poor job of it. The YouTube channel All Things Creepy, which is usually a pretty darn good channel, put out a video that was pretty irresponsible in my opinion and wrought with outright misinformation. In their video, they showed a video on the death of Rinat Alkmenetov, a Russian actor and astrologer who had recently passed away. It only took me a few hours of digging around to find out that this person was not Korney. Although it did sound like him, and kind of looked like the pictures that we've seen of him, it clearly was not the man that we know was Korney. So I took to emailing Korney's main email account and another Russian person who I had made acquaintance with while working with Korney. This person knew him, but not very well, just like myself. He had met him from making videos the same way that I did. He could not tell me for sure what happened to Korney, although he did say that he read in another Russian publication that Korney had died of a heart attack. But most of the online rumors were all saying that, so nothing new came from this source. I had found Korney's social media page on vk.com, and that's where I made a little bit of headway. vk.com is kind of like the Russian Facebook, and I made some headway there after translating some pages of posts and questions and answers from Korney to his followers. I noticed that there was a woman who seemed to be pretty familiar with him in the way she spoke, and from their conversations, I could tell that they had seen each other face to face at least once. I wrote this person a few emails over the next few weeks, and none of them were replied to. Now, of course, there could be many reasons for this. I can't expect someone to just email a random stranger back, and especially when I live on the other side of the planet and I don't even speak her language. I was pretty bummed out, and I went back to the drawing board, and I began writing others who had contacted Korney via his social media page on vk.com. They looked like they might also speak English, so I took to writing them in hopes that maybe they could even just translate the email and maybe get back to me. Well, after a few more weeks went by, I was catching up on some emails, and I noticed a Russian-looking email in my inbox. So I opened the email and I was excited to find out that it was indeed the lady who I had been emailing from the Russian social media site. She told me that she did read a couple of my emails using Google Translate, and she did know Korney in real life, but only as an acquaintance. She told me that they were neighbors who lived near each other and they were both into gardening. She said she ran into him sometimes at the gardening supply store, and they had spoken about gardening, and he was very, very knowledgeable. About his death, she could only tell me that there were several ambulances there on the street the day he died, and there were police cars and several other vehicles. She said they seemed to stay there a long time, perhaps even most of the day, if I was reading the translation correctly. She said there were people taking things both in and out, but that it wasn't that odd. She was sorry to tell me that she did hear that he did indeed pass away from a heart attack, and the local folks had said that much in the stores, and someone said they had read it in a local church bulletin. And that was all that she could tell me. As far as I can tell, she had no idea that he was a YouTuber and had no idea what the Homunculus was. So at the end of the day, Korney left us with as much to wonder about in his death as he did in life. What has become of the Homunculus? Did his sudden death have anything to do with the new creation he was working on? Did his death, was it connected in any way to his work? Was he killed either by the creature or another person? Does the homunculus live on in somebody else's home, or was it freed? Did they flush it into the sewer system, allowing it to grow to its own maximum size without the confines of the aquarium? We're only left with these questions, sadness, and loss. But we must look to the future. We have to thank Korney for all of the fine work he did while he was here. He pushed the limits of science and alchemy, and he shared his journey of knowledge, and most importantly, gave us possibilities and wonder. So we raise a glass, burn a candle, and say a prayer, or whatever it is that we do to honor our dead, in honor of the man who gave us so much and asked nothing in return. His channel was full of great information and wonderful entertainment. In addition to being a great scientist, a seeker of knowledge, and a producer of solid entertainment, Korney also supplied us with the one thing that's so hard to come by in this world: possibility. He made us think, what if? And he gave us that for well over 2 years, so we tip our hats to him. In his own words, progress is inevitable. And can we say it any better? And really, isn't that what we stand for? By searching out the rarest information, seeking the truth under the largest and smallest stones, aren't we making progress inevitable? We tip our hats to Korney and we say goodbye. We bid you sweet adieu, friend. And that's all for this edition of Planet Nibiru. In the past couple of months, big things have happened with our brand. We were approached about doing some work for television by a producer who creates content for the Discovery Network and other outlets. We'll be covering that in our next channel update, and watch out for our next video that will be coming out soon. It's going to be great. Thanks again for all your likes, subscribes, and comments, and we'll see you soon.